everybody, welcome to the channel for a new battle report. I played against Shizu, who has the YouTube channel Blackwood, a practice game. He was playing his list for the French qualifier. So interesting game, unusual army for him to play Vermin Swarm. And I don't know exactly when I'm going to release this battle report because I need to I want to not give too much information to his opponent before the French qualifier, so I'm going to wait until the qualifier are gone to release this battle report. Therefore, you don't see the actual number of the battle report, but should be soon. Anyway, let's move on to the list. My list, more or less the same than the previous battle report. I just removed the Tauric Anointed and the Vassal Cavalry. Instead, I put a big unit of Incarnate. And Shizu's list, it's basically a mass Vermin Swarm army. So he has 4 blocks, 2 blocks of Blackfoot Veteran, and 2 blocks of Murmillo Brute, one of them with the Aquila, paired weapon, halberd, and the other one, the shooty version, so Jezai and shield. He has 2 Stygian Earthbreaker that can act as countercharger, an additional small scoring unit. He has the Chaff Piece, the Doomblade guy. It's the old version of the book, I need to mention, it's not the current version of the book. And then he has 3 mages, the general is a Renus Dictator, and then he has an Adept Witchcraft and Adept Thaumaturgy. We were playing Spoil of War on Dawn Assault, and below you have the spell selection for both of us. I think here worth mentioning is the combo that he has. For example, like Random Move and Wrath of God are very scary from range, and then in close combat he has a spell like Smite, the 4+4+, sorry. It has been changed. The 4+ to wound or to hit, but mainly to wound. Also, the reroll to wound is really good with the number of attack that he has. So, a very interesting setup. Matchup analysis quickly. Yeah, it's a mass army, good support pieces. Secondary, I know it will be complicated. I mean, board control should be his. At least early on, I need to be able to reduce a bit some of his units to attack them. And I can probably not attack all of them, at least I cannot go in a frontal engagement. So I need to delay engagement and be smart in the way I approach the game. Make some range damage until I engage. I think that's the main game plan. Estimation, I rated it as negative due to the fact that I'm going to be behind on secondary. So it's up to me then if I can recover until turn 6 or not. Deployment-wise, I wander all 4 sides. We have a very symmetric map, as you can see, and due to Dawn Assault, we both have an easy spoil, and we're going to battle for the middle one. He obviously dropped for first turn with his combat army, place a tank on each side. Then here he has the shooty Murmillo, combat Murmillo in the middle, Black Fur with the Doomblade, General, and the small scoring with the mages. Sorry, I don't know why I have a 3D screenshot for this one. I decided to, like I said, I wanted to avoid the frontal engagement, so you can almost draw a line here, and you see you have nothing in front of his army that has some value for me. So I place here my stronger unit, which is the Bastion, nearby the Overlord that's going to try to play around this house. Then we have the unit of Blunderbuss, Kadim Incarnate, the small... No, that's the Blunderbuss and that's the Lugar, sorry. Far right, I place the Titan to try to be annoying and slow him down. And here in the middle, the 2 pieces of chaff. Pretty obvious. In the turn 1, so my opponent elected to push slightly. Not too much, he wanted to shoot at the Titan, which makes sense. He pushed max with those Black Furs. He pushed a bit, but as you can see, not that fast. And he moves a bit to the side. In the magic phase, he try to get random move on my Kadim Titan, which I dispel, but then on 3 dice he got Wrath of God somewhere here on my turn. Yeah, almost. Where you see the red point. On my turn, I push Max on the left flank with the Incarnate, trying to trap him so he cannot go out of line of sight. Those guys push, but also keep him in the front. I didn't want a flank charge early on, could be annoying. Blunderbuss push as well. I push a bit the Bastion. Yeah, I had no good spot where to go with the Overlord. He blocked that really well with his advanced turn 1. So basically the Overlord has to retreat and stay in a countercharge mode, and the Titan move aggressively to the flank. In the magic phase, he dispelled Grave Call. I got Rot Within on the Murmillo, and then a breast weapon on myself that killed 5 Black Furs. Yeah, wounding on 3+ is really strong on the breast weapon, obviously. And his Wrath of God came down, killed 3 Lugars, killed 4 guys in the Bastion and 5 Vassal Levies, so not bad at all. The Overlord was just out of range. It was funny, I placed him exactly out of 9 and he rolled 9, so it was funny. His turn 2, yeah, he push on the secondary and activate the chaff, so he wanted to wait a bit before going on it too soon by placing the chaff piece in front of the Bastion. He told me he's only afraid in this matchup of the Bastion that could charge and break him potentially, so that's the only unit you want to be aware, to be careful about. So for example, if I charge here and could potentially for him be dangerous, so he decided to chaff me. Okay, why not? The right flank, I'm seeing that one of us has a problem of appreciation of the situation here, so he was very confident that he would beat me in a 1-1 combat, and we discussed a bit about it because it was a training game, made some calculation, and I realized at this point of time that the Titan cannot really go in frontal engagement against those Jedi. It would be too risky. I have a high chance of dying, so yeah, this probably wouldn't work, and that's even without his magic, and I'm too far from my magic, so definitely not a good combat here for me to take. So the Titan has to find something else to do because I cannot really be a threat here. Yeah, left flank, he moved out of the way and made himself unchargeable, so that's smart from him. Here the Lugars cannot really engage as well, so he moved slightly forward, just respected the potential overrun, and that was more or less it. So he's on to Spoil of War, that was expected from me. In the magic phase, I dispelled random move. This time he failed the Wrath of God on 3 dice, but got -1 resilience on the Khalim Titan to shoot him with Jezai, but I think he did nothing with the 6th shot. My turn 2, move out of the way with the Titan. I got no charge, obviously. I double chaff with the slaves. I'm able to chaff them in the flank and chaff those guys as well in the flank, which allows me to push a bit with the Overlord and trying to be annoying in the middle. I push as well with the Bastion a bit. No, I move slightly back, sorry, to try to shoot this little guy, leaving him only with long charges. I need to reduce those Black Furs a bit more, so I stay far away at the moment. Those guys move a bit, but nothing crazy. In the magic phase, got a Grave Call on the Mermilo, strength 6. I'm able to do 5 wounds to them, so starting to slim them, to reduce them a bit. What else? In shooting, I killed the Chaff with the Bastion, obviously. And I also managed to kill 1 Black Fur with the Overlord, which is better than nothing. His turn 3, he elected to charge the slave with the Black Fur instead of those guys. So he just moved back those guys that have the secondary objective. You want to play on that, which I think is a good decision for him. I don't want to risk them too much. So those guys engage in the flank, the slaves. That's already the positioning after reform, I guess. Yeah, I think gave me the back for me to charge here and him able to counter charge then. So he plays those pieces as counter charger. He picked the 2 secondary. Nothing crazy to mention. He moved further away to avoid me being able to see him. In the magic phase, he's going to get the wheel turn on himself, and I dispel the Wrath of God with my 6 dice against his 4 dice. My turn 3, obviously I didn't want to charge in the back because getting counter charge is not funny. So I reposition myself to see the flank and be further away from those guys that are dangerous for me. I activate the Vassal Levies, this time to chaff them and them. Still those Black Furs are annoying for me. So I wanted to chaff them, and I need to reduce the Black Fur a bit more to be able to really push. So I still need to wait a bit more. That's the big problem in the matchup. In the magic phase, I think if I go just crazy forward without respecting too much his block, I would be crushed. So I prefer to be patient at the moment, try to grab some points, and maybe later on I have an opportunity on the secondary. At least that was my mindset. Magic phase, he dispelled Grave Call. I got a breast weapon, kill 7 Black Furs. I get Mark for Doom on his Doomblade, and I managed to do 2 wounds, so almost one-shot him. Got Rot with it on 1 dice on the Mermilo, and then I shot with the Bastion and Overlord, managed to kill a total of 7 Black Furs, so minus 14 Black Furs. It's starting to be interesting for me. His turn 4, attempted to charge with the tank on a 7 on, I think it's not Swift Ride, onto the Vassal to clear the chaff, but he failed that charge, which is annoying. And he attempted a long charge, but that could have been really interesting for him, was the those guys on a 10 onto my Titan. I couldn't do better than that, so yeah, that's how it was. But yeah, charge on a 10. I think it would have been a reduced frontage, only 2 guys in base contact due to them. I think so. Yeah, I think I had to wheel. Yeah, maybe he can get max. But anyway, he failed the charge on a 10, failed the charge on a 7. Reposition himself mostly, so those guys move a bit backward. He gave me the flank this time, okay. Still threatening the flank of my unit, but he's not in line of sight of the Bastion and the Overlord. I think that's worth mentioning. In the magic phase, I dispelled the Wrath of God, but then he got a random move on this brick, which is annoying because they can now catch my Titan without problem. And then he cast also Wheel Turn on the big unit. So basically his idea is if I charge in the flank, it then just turn around and kill me in the following turns, basically. But now that he plays the random move, I have no choice. So I'm going to take 2 charges on my turn. I need to pin them down, so I need to go in with the Titan. What I like is the fact that I'm starting from the flank. So I get at least 1 turn where it doesn't strike too hard. And I will not get counter charge due to the positioning of those guys with the Impassable and the positioning of the Titan. I shouldn't be. So at least I'm safe for the moment. It gives me some time and allows me to reposition the Overlord to try to support. So I should be fine, at least on the short term. And then the second charge, I don't know if you saw it, but those guys have a flank charge here. And it's an interesting one. I can just go here. I have 3 models base contact against his 3. Going with pad weapon, with a flank, big flank, and so on. Quite interesting. Charge on a 5. I make it. Okay, looks nice, looks interesting. This blocks those guys, so they are just like chaffed, so to say, because most likely I shouldn't win by a bit, maybe he might stick, but he will need then to turn around, and then I want to eat him. So I push hard then with the Academy Incarnate, the Lugars, the Bastions push a bit as well, so I get in range with the Bastion to do more damage on the Murmillo. I'm not threatened really by anything, so I'm feeling fine to do more damage and put pressure on those guys. And the Overlord position himself to be able to see the middle of the map, but also see those guys if he needs to charge. I go with the Blunderbuss on the secondary objective. Might be important to get also mine, depending what happened here in the middle. So I'm starting like my contra-attacking, like it's my time to attack after he started heavily forward like I expected. Now it's my time. Now that I made some damage and I get some combat, it's my time to attack. I Binding Scroll my Hereditary. I'm able to get Gravecall on the Murmillo. I will do 5 wounds, which is nice. He dispelled the breast weapon on the Titan, obviously. And between the Bastion and the Overlord, I managed to do another 5 wounds to those guys. So I made 10 wounds this turn, so that's huge. And then close combat, those guys I roll really well. I managed to get an attribute of alchemy obviously here, and I managed to roll really well. I kill a good amount of rats. He passes the fear check but doesn't pass the reform check, which is huge because it allows me to reform to not get charged. That was already the case, but mostly he's not able to turn around and get a lot of attack on myself, so that's huge. And those guys here, I remember that he did like 1 to wound something. I did like 0, but I had static res and stuff, and I was winning by 1, and he failed the check. I pursue, I catch him. So very nice operation, killing Doomblade, getting the Black Fur out of the way. And remember here I killed like 3 models. So yeah, now the wind is starting to turn, to change direction. That's the stat just for out of curiosity. If he would have been able to turn around, then I would have used Binding Scroll on most likely Wheel Turn. I think that's the worst. Then I dispels my The Unbeliever and he gets Bewitching Glare. And with Bewitching Glare, that's the stat of his guys against my Titan. As you can see, it's between 2 and 3 wounds per round, so still it goes pretty quickly. If it spikes a bit, he can kill me in 2 turns maybe. So yeah, it's between 2 and 3 turns. In 3 turns, I'm most likely dead. So that's to keep in mind. That was the plan of Shizu, to have 3 turns. I think with the amount that I kill this turn already, I kill like, I don't know, a good amount, like 12 or something like that. So I kill like 2 roll ranks, so he would have had a lot of attack next round, but the round after it starts also to decrease. But I think on the long run I would have most likely died, so I would have need to support with the Overlord at some point. Anyway, he's turn 5 and now he's in a mode where he needs to save the game. Yeah, as you can see, I kill a good amount, so he would have had enough attack to do some wounds next round. But the round after, it's starting to crumble a bit. So now, yeah, you need to save the game, basically. Save the points and keep the secondary mostly. So he moves away with the tank, trying to continue to be annoying for me. Here, move back, turn around, move away with the Murmillo. Those guys also move back. So basically, keeping the secondary. He didn't lose so many points. He knows that's going to lose both black first. So he's going to lose a bit on points, but he wants to keep the secondary. In the magic phase... I Binding Scroll the wheel turn. He failed Deceptive Glamour and I Dispel Smite the Unbeliever, but then he get Bewitching Glare on the close combat here. Close combat, I kill 8, he did nothing to me. He managed this time to turn around. My turn 5, I able to push forward max. Yeah, now I'm trying to catch those guys. So I do 12 with the Lugars, I drop the BSB somewhere, and I push max also almost with the Bastion, try to get in shooting range and make sure that next round, if I march, I can still have the same shooting. So the plan here is pretty simple. Get a long charge with the Lugar next round, and get magic and shooting in 2 turns, trying to kill those guys. Basically, that's the idea. So we'll see, and here I'm just grabbing the spoil, move away, and if he get the long charge, I can counter charge and kill him. I'm going to be steadfast within the BSB range. That's why I move out with the BSB. The Overlord didn't engage last round because I was afraid that if I kill them straight, he could charge and then get some points. So I just stay here to tell him, if you charge, then I charge and I kill you and you have the spoil. So that's not so interesting for you. And I trust the Titan to do some work here. It has only like 14 or 18 black for left, which is not that much. In the magic phase, he dispelled the Grave Call. I get Mark for Doom on those Murmillo, but do only 1 wound. And then the Bastion did a total of 5 wounds, which was really nice. And the Titan did 7 wounds, but he did 3 wounds to me before that, with not so many attacks, but Bewitching Glare works well. So 3 wounds to me, so I have only 3 wounds left. So as I told before, it could spike. His turn. Yeah, he moved just out of the way. I will have a double 6 charge here. So we'll see if I can do that. Just move out of the way with everything here. Those guys going to die. He's moved out of the way. Magic phase, get -1 resilience on the Canim Titan. I dispel Bewitching Glare. Shooting, he did nothing on the Overlord. Close combat, I kill 5. He did another wound to my Titan. And he stick on the -2 this time. My last round. And yeah, worth mentioning, he dropped a chaff piece in front of the Bastion. Just for me to basically be forced of charging, but I cannot move around and shoot on those guys. So that's his idea. What I expected is to break those guys, to be able to then terror check the little guy here. And for the story, he's going to fail his terror check. So it's unfortunate that I only managed to do 7 wounds and he made 3 wounds. So basically he only lost by, it was 5 wounds to 1. So I only made 5 wounds and he made 1 wound. And basically I had to check only on -2. Was a bit disappointing for me because, yeah, I would have liked him to break at this point of time and be able to just pursue and then get some opportunities to terror check this little guy here. Or even without pursue. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's my 6. So I would have pursue, eat the guys, and then could have had charge here, maybe a charge here even in the back. Could have had some opportunities, I think. So it would have been nice, but not the case. So my 6, I attempt the double 6, but I fail it. I charge the guy, terror check him, catch him. So I'm going to be in range for a Grave Roll at least. And here I just go with the Overlord. In magic phase, I got lucky and get the Grave Call, I think on 4 dice against his 6. So lucky me. Grave Call strength 6. I think now it's a big time. I rolled 10 hits. So feeling confident. but I'm only going to do 5 wounds, so would have been a hold up, to be honest, to steal the secondary or to draw the secondary and the points of those guys on the last spell with 4 dice against 6. So I remember it being a lucky moment for me. And here I just killed the remaining guys, and the Titan is going to stay on 2 wounds remaining. So that's it, guys. I take 2030 points. He only took my slave, which makes it a 15, but goes down to a 12-8 due to him winning the spoil of war, which I think makes sense. Post-game analysis, I think, was the right choice for me to avoid the frontal engagement and be patient. Secondary was almost impossible to win, and yeah, I saw it straight away by just reading the list. I know the limits of my list, and here I think I played the way I was supposed to do and not took too many risks, and then I was able, I think the summary of this game is I was able to take advantage from his mistake and from the opportunities that I was given. I think that's the way I was able to grab points, and at the end ended up winning against the odd. Turn 4 Infernal Dwarves, yeah, able to take advantage from the mistake. Like I said, turn 6 Vermin Swarm was a key moment from the Titan that could have, most likely would have, broke those guys, chase them, run them down, and then have good charging opportunities on turn 6, which could have allowed the Bastion then to march for 1 and shoot as well. So it would have been nice. But I think drawing secondary would have been really lucky. I remember being really lucky on the shooting phase from the Bastion, so each time like 5 wounds on Murmilos, really rolling multiple times over the odds. So I think overall I cannot complain at all. I felt that overall the luck was rather on my side. The couple of things that Shizu needed didn't work, like the reform check or the small charge of the vassals, like losing by 1, boom, breaking, giving away the points. Stuff like that didn't work that much. But yeah, it was an interesting game. More action than I expected. When I saw the list, I was like, oh, it's going to be hard to attack this list. But I still managed to be patient, reduce the numbers, and then find my time to attack and be in the range that I like with my army, where I can do most damage. Guys, thanks a lot for watching the battle report. I hope you liked it, and talk to you soon on the channel. Bye.